Hey there, my name is Joe Nevadis with Keller Williams Realty here in the Austin, Texas area, and I can sell your expired listing. I secured an appointment for this expired listing that we're about to tour. I haven't been inside yet. All I've done is looked online. I've spoken to the owners, and I'm going to do whatever I can to earn their business. So this is basically what I do whenever I assess your property. There are typically five that may be a factor in why your property didn't sell. First, it's going to be the list price. Sometimes property owners might feel that the value is a certain amount. However, the market may say it is different. So that could be a reason that the property has sat and expired. The second one, the photos might not be great online. I believe in professional photography. More on that later, but that's a huge deal. If your online presence isn't incredible, sometimes buyers just swipe and go to the next listing. The third thing is, in accordance to the listing, there might be some lazy descriptions. So the captions might be off. It might not be presented well whenever the buyer is reading about the property. It could be just generic or AI generated, and sometimes that tips off buyers and maybe they don't want to go see the house. The fourth thing is, I would highly recommend that it get professionally staged. Virtual staging may work on photos, but whenever you enter a home of this size, over 5,000 square feet, you probably would do best if you were to stage at least a few of the main rooms and the main spaces. The reason is because whenever a buyer walks into a home of this size, you want to highlight the house as best as possible. And so I do recommend professional staging, especially whenever it is a higher priced property and such a large property. You need some guidance for those buyers to see and understand what the house could potentially look like when it has its furniture inside. And the fifth thing, social media presence and maybe lack of marketing, that could be a factor in why the property hasn't sold. Nowadays, everybody goes online. They want to see what properties are offering. You have to do more than just put it in the MLS and see if it sells. Also, open houses, circle prospecting, that type of thing. So let's see what this house offers, and maybe one of the five things that I mentioned will be a reason why we can improve it and get it sold. This house is huge. There's no staging. I do feel like that might be a reason why. Do you hear that echo? I don't know if it can pick up on my audio, but it sounds lonely in here. I also heard that there's a smoke alarm that's running out of battery. It's beeping. It just sounds cold. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just doesn't feel warm. So staging would potentially help this property. And I mean, it looks good. I don't see any glaring issues. Like, I usually look at all of the walls and ceilings just to see if there are any hairline cracks or anything that might be considered a huge issue. Also staining on the ceiling. Why would the buyer not want this property? That's what my job is, to find out. Why did the buyer pass on this property after 6 months? Price? Did they just not get, they didn't get enough traffic in here? Who knows? That's why I want to look at it in person, so then I can give a true assessment of the property's potential value whenever I do meet with my potential clients again. Okay, it needs staging. I would say you need some sort of definition in the floor plan whenever people come and walk through it, just so they could see what it looks like. It has good lighting. It's actually a very overcast day today, so I'm impressed that it does have as much natural light as it does. I would also say that the photos, whenever I was looking at them online, they were okay, but they had digital staging, so it kind of took away from what the space was. So I would probably of course, reshoot with actual physical furniture in here. Price point, it's the highest, but it is also the largest property in the neighborhood. So it's tricky because you also have new construction going up down the road, and that competes with the resales. This property was built 5 years ago. So it's competing with brand new homes. Maybe they're not as large, but they have a better price. If I were able to take on this listing, I would put it on social media. I would, have open houses. I would reach out to neighbors, see how they like the neighborhood and what features I could gloat about for this property, so other people who are looking for communities like this would be drawn to it, that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. I'll let you know when I get this listing. And if I don't, it's more than likely a matter of not being able to agree upon price point, because that's really hard for sellers whenever they are expecting a certain amount. And I see it through my perspective with my experience. And to be honest, whenever you're expired or withdrawn, you already kind of have a stigma attached to the property because of the days on market or the time you listed it and it didn't sell. So buyers automatically are going to be like, what's wrong with it? So that's what I plan on doing. And I will hopefully show you the actual property once it's ready to go on the market. And you'll know, hey, that's the one that Joe said she was on an appointment for. And she got it because she was able to convince her new clients to do the recommendations that she suggested. So anyway, my name is Joe Nevadis with Keller Williams Realty here in the Austin, Texas area. I can sell your expired listings. I can also sell other listings, and I can help you buy, of course. So let me know if you need me. Take care.